Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be going over the lesson called stress management. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to explain why identifying stressors is the first step in stress management, identify ways of reducing stress by managing commitments, time, and thoughts, identify relaxation techniques, and analyze the importance of taking care of yourself. Stress management is the process of using strategies to reduce stress and handle stressful situations in a positive way. Not everyone will find the same stress management strategies useful, so trying several strategies can help you learn about yourself and identify methods of stress management. The first step is going to be identifying your stressors. Stressors could be a particular situation or parts of daily life that you find challenging. Remember that people have different stressors based on perceptions. So, my stressors might be getting to work on time, whereas somebody else's stressor might be public speaking at school. And everyone's different in these things. So don't just, say, oh, that's not stressful because it might not be for you, but it could be for someone else based on their experiences or their perceptions. Once you know what factors cause you stress, you can take steps to reduce the amount of stress in your life. Remember, you cannot eliminate stress altogether or control all sources of stress. Still, there are some steps you can take to reduce your level of stress on a daily basis. So think about this. Maybe going to work is stressful for you because you're always rushing. And that might be because you don't get up in time. So you're rushing to get dressed and brush your teeth and eat breakfast and get all your stuff together before you head out to work. Now, if you got up a half hour earlier, then that would probably reduce your stress. Now, you can't eliminate stress because we all have jobs and need to go to work, but you can help yourself out by giving yourself more time so you don't feel as stressed out to get there. One of the first things that you should also do is set healthy boundaries. So, stress often occurs when people feel like they do not have enough time or energy to fulfill all their commitments. It is okay to say no. So, you can always say no and do not commit to activities too quickly. So, what you can always do is if someone asks you something to commit to something, you can always say, I'll get back to you, or let me think about it and I'll let you know. Instead of giving them a yes or no right there, you can just say, let me go talk to my parents about it, or let me go check my schedule and see if I'm free. Then that's going to give you a little bit of time to really reflect and think, okay, is this something that I should be taking on, or do I have enough on my plate right now and I need to say no to this? And that's okay. It's okay to say no. Time management is the practice of devoting the appropriate amount of time to each task, only committing to tasks you have time for, and prioritizing tasks that help you reach goals and reduce stress. So, things you could do to help with your time management is create a time management plan. So, maybe you write a whole plan for your day, what your day is going to look like, and you stick to that schedule. You could keep a to do list, make use of little time. So, some people say, like, oh, I only have 10 minutes to do this. Instead of doing it for 10 minutes, I'm going to scroll on my phone. That 10 minutes could be very useful. And even if you have 10 minutes here and then an hour, you have another 10 minutes and another 10 minutes, the time is going to add up. So instead of using those little chunks of time for silly things like TV, YouTube, scrolling on your phone, you can actually use that 10 minutes of time to work towards your goals, which is ultimately going to reduce stress. Avoid procrastinating. I know that this one is big, where maybe we have a project that's due in 3 weeks and we're like, okay, I'm going to wait until the night before, which we think like in the moment that reduces our stress. But at the end of our due date, it's going to cause more stress than if we would have just done it little by little throughout the 3 weeks. Also, limit technology use. How many of you have ever noticed that you are on your phone and you get into a deep dive into some sort of topic, and an hour goes by, 2 hours goes by, 3 hours goes by, and you're like, what? Where did that 3 hours go? And you're like, now you're stressing out because you should have been doing something. So something that you should do is, if let's say that you have schoolwork to do, put your phone on the bottom level of your house. Let me put it in the kitchen, and you go to your room and just have your laptop and your schoolwork, and try to just say, okay, for the next hour, I'm not going to look at my phone. It's going to be in the kitchen. It's going to be turned off. Setting yourself up to do that is going to give you undivided time and attention to be working on something without distractions. Because I know, even for myself, I have my phone right here next to me, and if I hear the ding, a text message ding or an email come through, my brain wants to look at it. So if we put it away in a spot that we can't hear it or see it, then we're going to be way less likely to look at it and actually focus on what we have to get done. So you also want to maintain a positive attitude. Stress is a reaction to situations you perceive as threatening. Remember, in the beginning of the slide, we said it might be stressful to me, but maybe it's not for you. That's because stress is perceived. It might not be the same for everyone. This means that your level of stress can change if you alter your perception. So, positive reappraisal is the act of thinking about the good aspects of stressful situations. So, what that means is, maybe you are, let's say that you are going to be the lead in a play, and you're like, I'm so stressed out. No one's going to like me. It's going to go terribly. When you put those bad thoughts into your brain, it actually does affect the way that you perform. Whereas if you go into it saying, like, okay, this is going to stretch me, strengthen me. I'm going to work on my public speaking. I'm going to work on making new friends. I'm going to be up on stage, and it's going to be stressful, but I know at the end of it, I'll be happy that I went through the stress and I was able to do something really cool with my friends. So thinking about the good things and not the bad things. Or if you're stuck in traffic, I know for me, I really don't like sitting in a car in traffic, but I could think, okay, maybe I can turn on a podcast and listen to something that I want to listen to, or I can turn on music and make this stressful situation into something good. So, handling stressful situations, when you are in the midst of a stressful situation, you may feel out of control, especially if you cannot immediately change the situation. The effects of stress may get in the way of your thinking, make you feel sick, or stir up negative emotions. So, you can use strategies to manage stress and your reactions to it. You can use distraction and humor. Now, this is for just things that you can't change right now. If it's something that you can change right now, then you don't want to use distraction. You actually want to tackle your stress head on. But if you can't change it right now, you can use distraction or humor. You can go for a walk, color, woodworking, sewing, crocheting, knitting. You can volunteer. You could read a book or listen to music, or you could express your feelings. Some people express their feelings by talking with someone they trust, or you could do an art project, or you could write a song or play guitar or some sort of music that you like to play. Good physical health contributes to mental well-being. So just remember that your mental well-being can be drastically changed by exercise. So if you're feeling really down about yourself and you're like, I can't change what I have going on right now, what should I do? Go running, go play basketball, get with a friend, go to the YMCA, do something active because that's going to also be beneficial. So instead of maybe doing um, like a bad task to try to deal with your stress, maybe that's eating. Eating would be a bad thing to do if you're stressed out. Um, Drug use would be a bad thing to do if you're stressed out. You might think that, oh, this makes me feel good for a short amount of time, but in the long run, it's actually going to end up hurting you even more and making you more stressed out after it's done. There's different relaxation techniques you can use. There's deep breathing, focused attention, visualization, which is imagining oneself in a pleasant environment, progressive muscle relaxation, which is tensing and then relaxing each part of the body until the whole body feels relaxed, body scan, which is paying careful attention to the body, scanning it for signs of tension, and then releasing that tension. Mindfulness is fully concentrating on what is happening in the present without judgment. By paying attention to whatever you are doing in the moment, you avoid letting your mind shift to ongoing worries and concerns. So, wherever you are, be all there. I once heard that someone said, if you're living in the past, you're depressed because you want to go back and change it. If you're living in the future, you are anxious because you're thinking about what's coming, thinking about, okay, what am I going to do in this situation? Oh my gosh, I'm not set up for college. I'm not set up for this. I'm not ready for the future. The best place to be is to just focus on where you are right now. So, what can you do today to be the best you? Also, take care of yourself. During stressful times, many people neglect their physical needs. During stressful times, you might not be eating, exercising, or getting adequate sleep. So, you want to focus in those stressful times. Am I eating healthy? Am I exercising? Am I getting adequate sleep? And try to not use things that are going to temporarily give you relief, but actually in the long run cause you more stress, such as tobacco, alcohol, or drugs. So now what we're going to do is we're going to review. We're almost at the very end of our slides. Here are the questions that are also going to be on your quiz on Schoology. The questions are, what is stress management? What is the benefit of waiting a while before committing to do an activity? When is distraction a healthy stress management technique? Which relaxation technique involves imagining yourself in a pleasant environment? What is mindfulness? And then name one stress management technique that you would be willing to try. The answers are, for number one, what is stress management? The process of using strategies to reduce the impact of the stress response and handle threatening situations in positive ways. What is the benefit of waiting a while before committing to do an activity? Waiting gives you the chance to see what commitments you have made and what time you have. When is distraction a healthy stress management technique? When a stressful situation is outside a person's control. Which relaxation technique involves imagining yourself in a pleasant environment? This is going to be visualization. Fully concentrating on what is happening in the present, that's going to be mindfulness. And then name one stress management technique that you would be willing to try. This is going to vary based on you. All right, so now we should be able to explain why identifying stressors is the first step in stress management. Identify ways of reducing stress by managing commitments, time, and thoughts. Identify relaxation techniques and analyze the importance of taking good care of yourself. What you're going to do now is head to Schoology to complete the assignment and reach out with any questions.